In this video, we're going to show you just a really basic CorelDRAW technique. We're going to go ahead and type out some text here. This is a little text technique, and let's just pick a font. I'm going to use the bubblegum font for this example. We're going to switch over to our shape tool here and just add a little bit of spacing between our letters. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to come in here and select our text, and let's go to our font tab and break apart our rhinestone text. And then we'll take those and use the combine letter function here in EasyStone. And now we should have all of our individual letters. Now from here, let's go ahead and just give them a light gray color. And let's apply some type of outline. We'll just kind of grab one here at random first. And I think what we're going to do is let's set that, use our outline pen dialog box, to 6 points. So it's a little bit thickened up a little bit. All right. So now that we have an outline on our lettering, we can set our lettering to white. So now what I want to do is I'm going to actually just take my letter G here and just make it a little bit bigger. So maybe we'll do something like that. And now what we can also do is we can move this letter over, and then we could just hit H just to tighten up the space between our letters a little bit. Let's do that again. H. All right. So now we kind of have this set the way we want it. Now what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and combine all of those together. So now we've combined them all together. So now we have one shape with an outline applied to it. All right. And so now what we want to do is go ahead and just kind of copy that down like this, shift page down. So our duplicate is behind, and let's go ahead and fill our duplicate. So now you can kind of see what we have here. So that's the finished look that we want, but there's more work to be done because first of all, the outline that we've applied doesn't actually show up yet. You can see here, it's really nothing at this point. So let's go back to enhance mode and let's select that object and then choose this option right here, which is convert outline to object. And as soon as we do that, then that also becomes problematic because watch what happens when we go to wireframe mode. Now you can see we have all these lines and all kinds of craziness going on. And if we were to cut this out of vinyl, that's exactly the way it would cut. And of course, that's not what we're after. So we have to clean that up. So how do we go about doing that? Well, let's take a piece of this and look at it separately, so we can actually see what we're looking at here. Let's just look at this piece separately here. So this is the top part of the text, and then this is the bottom part. And then this we have several different pieces. So this is the outline, and then we have this was the original text that we typed out. So let's give that a little bit of a color, so you can see now all the different pieces that we have. And of course, this is just solid text just like this with an outline applied to it. All right, so we kind of have to do this in stages here. So let me just back up, bring us back to this point here. So this top outline is already set. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just take this. Let's see if we're going to delete. We have to clean this up a little bit. That's step number one. So then we right click back to that and make that a curve again. Something like that. Okay. So, and then we can keep this or delete it. For my purpose, I'm going to go ahead and keep it. So now we have this as a separate piece, and then we have our white down below. So that's fine, but this piece, the black piece, we actually have to combine with our outline. So what I'm going to do though first is I'm going to take the outline that's on this piece and convert that outline as well. Now, if we look here in wireframe mode, you can see there's all kinds of extra lines going on. It's really a bunch of craziness. But watch, if we just take, there's actually two pieces here. If we pull this away, maybe you can see it. We have the outline and then we have the fill. So all we're going to do is take the first two pieces and weld them together. Okay, and then you're going to get this. Now, you don't want to panic just yet because that really should be pushed to the bottom. Okay, so if we go back to wireframe mode, you can see we still have a mess going on. But that's where the next phase is. So let's move this back up let's back up a minute here because I think I grabbed the wrong piece, the wrong pieces. These are the two that I want to weld. And then we have our outline and this black piece. So what I'm going to do now is take the white shape and trim the black. So now we have this going on. See, it's all trimmed away. But now I'm going to take this black piece and combine it with my outline and go ahead and weld it. And now you can kind of see what we have here. So now we have it all properly ready to cut here. Let's see here. We have our white piece. Let's go ahead and make that a color so we can see it. So we have our outline. If I double click on my white, see how the outline is sitting on top? So there's my white, and then we have our outline on top. So it's just the two pieces now. We have just this piece, and of course then we have the piece with the shadow and so on and so forth. So without a lot of work, and I typically, when I'm doing an outline, I typically will do the outline on top of the fill. That's not written in stone. So what we could do, just to show you an option, what we could do, that's the way I would do it. And the reason I do it that way is because if we look at the pink again, let's look at the pink. See how the pink is? It's slightly larger than this outline. So when we go to put the outline on top of our pink, we know that it'll line up perfectly. Now, there is another option, and that is the black could be totally solid and we lay the pink on top. So if you wanted to go that route, what you would do is take your black and your pink and trim that out. And then what we can do here on the black, so if I move my pink away, you can see there's holes in my black. Well, we want just solid black. So what I would do is I would just right click and break curve apart, and that would give you that. I would select one piece and target it, select everything, and just weld it together. And then shift page down to put it behind. So now this would be one solid piece, and if we go into wireframe mode, you could see that. We have one solid piece of black, and then we're laying pink on top. But the problem there is you're battling a couple of issues. Number one, placement. You'd have to get your pink perfectly placed in order for all of these edges for the outline to be the exact same thickness all the way across. Then your placement of your pink on top of black, number one, would have to be perfect. And then number two, we all know that when you apply heat transfer vinyl, if we were to lay the black down first, there would be some shrinkage. And then to get our pink to line up perfectly again, and so that border would be the same all the way across, would be almost impossible. So it's generally better to do it this way first. Lay your pink down and then put your outline on top. But anyhow, that's a little basic shadow technique, and that's how you would go about doing it. So I know I went through that kind of fast, but if you watch the video a couple of times, it's a pretty simple technique once you understand all the moving components of it. So thanks for watching.